Hello! In this video we are going to be talking about the soul, and I am going to give you my biggest reason why I believe that there actually may be a soul or some kind of spirit or some kind of consciousness which is beyond the brain. I am not a scientist, but I am going to be talking a little bit about some scientific reason, and I am also not someone who is claiming that there is a soul, because I don't know. I am honestly like maybe 50-50, because it makes complete sense that there is a soul, but at the same time it makes complete sense that there isn't. So I don't know what is the truth. But anyway, I will give you my biggest reason why there may be something more. So I have many reasons to believe why there is a soul. Like you have these near-death experiences, you have these psychedelics like DMT, you have people like Carl Gustav Jung, who was 100% convinced that in dreams you can see future. You have this state of meditations and many reasons. But for me, the biggest reason is that if there is not a soul, then there is not free will, you know? And I am not saying this for 100%, but I am maybe 98, maybe 99% convinced that in order to have a free will, you need to have some kind of a soul. There are scientists who will tell you that there is no free will at all because of this, what I am going to tell you. And honestly, I completely agree with the scientist that if the universe is just atoms, electrons, protons, quarks, and so on, there cannot be free will. You have, for example, Robert Sapolsky, who is like a professor at Stanford University, and he is saying that there is 0 and like 0.000 free will, and I completely agree with him. But I think that there is a soul, and that's why there is free will. Even though the free will is not like, something that you have 100%, because, we are like controlled by our genes, our experiences, our subconscious mind, and so on. But I believe that there is at least little free will. So the story goes like this. If the universe is completely random and only material, then imagine that we had some kind of Big Bang, but since then, not a single atom, not a single electron, not a single proton, nothing could move on its own. Everything like star formations, galaxy formations, like planets formation, all of the atoms, they were just, doing the things based on the physics, Every single action was just the reaction on the previous action, So when our sun was formating, there wasn't a single conscious atom that could move on its own, Every single atom in there was just, moving based on its previous movements. And the same thing applies to, when life was starting on Earth, it was just chemistry turning into the biology, but all life is just atoms, electrons, nothing more. So there was not a chance to have some kind of conscious decision, You had these cells, but these cells, if they are just material and nothing more, then you cannot have, at least in my opinion, something which has zero free will, something which is just a material, and then it is somehow going to create a free will, you know? Because even if you are going to have this cell and it's going to have trillions of atoms and molecules, every single atom, every single proton, every single electron was just moving since the Big Bang as it was supposed to move. There wasn't like any chance for a single atom to, you know, do something different than what it was destined to do. Okay? There is this quantum physics, and you know, it can be, you know, I am not saying that I know quantum physics, and some people may say that you have this, you know, quantum states and so on. But if those quantum states are completely random, there is no free will, there is no consciousness, there is no intelligence, there is no intention, nothing, then, you know, even if there are like these quantum states and something like that, even that is not going to create a free will. So I am not saying that it is like so, but in my opinion, in order to have some kind of free will, you need to have something which is more than atoms, which is more than electrons, you know? Or maybe you do not need more, but you need those atoms to be in some way conscious, in some way intelligent, you know? Because if universe is random, material, not intelligent, not conscious, nothing, in my opinion, there cannot be free will. Okay, and it is something that scientists, not all scientists, but some scientists are going to tell you that unfortunately it is like that, and you have zero free will, I have zero free will, not a single human have free will, not a single alien have free will, like nothing. And you know, it can be tricky to know whether there is free will or there is not free will, you know, because if there is no free will and you have just illusion of free will, then you may think that you have free will, but you don't. So I am not saying that there is 100% free will, but you know, I don't know, but I would say that I have a lot of free will, and we all have a lot of free will. Maybe, you know, many of our actions are, you know, based on some kind of reactions, you know, because we are not meditative enough or something. So I admit that maybe 95% of my actions may not come from the free will, but just from some kind of reactions and so on. But I strongly believe that at least 5% or 1% or 0.1% or 0.0001% I have free will. So if we don't have any free will, then we are just robots, and you know. So yeah, one little, you know, I was thinking about this. One reason for me to think that there actually is free will, you know, I take it as something obvious that there is free will, but I have a little more issues with sleep. That's not the point of this video, but I was once watching a video and someone was suggesting that before you go to sleep, try to intentionally think about things which has no correlation with each other, you know? So try to think like, you know, wait, what is going to come? For example, orange, and then ocean, and then a movie, and you know, just try to think about things which has nothing to do with each other. And I noticed something interesting while I was doing this. I don't know if it's helping me to sleep, and I don't do it that often, but you have, for example, someone like Sam Harris. If you don't know who he is, it's not the point, but he was saying, like in a debate about free will, that you don't know what thought you are going to have next. You know, I can be sitting in here, and for example, I am going to have elephant. 10 seconds ago, I didn't know that I am going to have a thought which is going to be elephant or something. But while I was doing this little exercise before dreaming, before sleeping, I noticed one thing. And it was like I had my eyes closed and I was waiting for some image or something to come. Let's say, for example, it would be ocean. And then I felt like I have an option to go from the ocean. And when you, for example, I am going to think about the ocean, and the next thought is going to be beach, and then summer, and then drink, and then traveling, and then Spain, and you know. So I am going to have something which is going to come to my mind, and then my next thoughts are going to be something which is related to that. Okay? But while I was doing this exercise, and the exercise was about try to think about things which has nothing to do with each other, when I was thinking about the ocean, for example, as the first one, then I had these thoughts, like, as I said, beach, summer, sand, you know, whatever. But I had a choice that I am not going to go with this, but I am going to wait until something else is going to come to my mind, which is not related. So, for example, it could be breakfast or something. And then when I had the breakfast, one more time I had an option, like I would have a breakfast and then there would be egg and chicken and McDonald's and, you know, things which are correlated in my mind with the breakfast. But I had one more time choice that I am after breakfast not going to go with eggs or something, but I will wait until new thought which is not related to the breakfast is going to come. You know, someone who is going to be against free will is going to say that I still don't have free will and so on. So it can be really hard argument to say that there is a free will. And I don't know, I am not claiming that there is a free will, but I have the feeling, which we all have probably, that we are conscious and we have free will to decide. And this little exercise for me was like, yes, I don't know what my next thought is going to be. But when the thought is going to come, I have a decision to continue with the thought process of the thing, or I can wait for new unrelated thing to happen. It may be like kind of ridiculous to be talking and trying to say or convince someone that we have free will, but but my point of this video is as I said, I am not sure, but I am really convinced that if the universe is material, random, atheistic, nothing conscious, nothing spiritual, nothing intelligent, nothing, no God, no angels, no entities, nothing, then simply we have no free will. So yeah. And as I said, for me to have a free will, it would have to include something which is beyond material, something which is maybe conscious, intelligent, or something. So yeah, I am still not 100% convinced that there is a soul. I am trying to be not biased. For me, it's like if there is no soul, okay, there is no soul. I am like not trying to prove that there is a soul. For me, if someone would tell me that there is no soul, and I would be 100% convinced that it is true, I would be happy that, okay, I finally know the truth. Truth is that there is no soul, and it would be in some sense liberating to know like, okay, this is the nature of the reality. There is no soul, nothing, fine. But it's something that I don't know. I am, as I said, open to the both possibility, whether there is or there isn't. So I am like searching for the truth. And one of the biggest reasons for me, this may be wrong. I am not saying that it is like so, but many scientists will tell you that, you have no free will. And I agree with them. If the universe is material, we have no free will. And for me, the only reason, only way to have free will is to have soul, consciousness, something. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you agree, don't agree with me. I am not claiming anything. I don't know. I am just sharing with you my opinion, and this is my opinion. So yeah, thank you for your time. I would be interested to hear your opinion, but yeah. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.